Sri Lanka is yet to recover from the bomb blast which rocked the nation and brought it to its knees last week. It not only affected the people in Sri Lanka, but also the community around the world. Now, who did this? The ISIS themselves have come forward and have taken responsibility for the bomb blast. What could be the reason for the bomb blast? And why did ISIS do this to innocent lives in Sri Lanka? We are well aware that the entire ideology of the ISIS is predicated on terrorism. They want to bring about a so-called singular religion around the world. They want to destroy, according to them, the infidels and bring a nation only for their community. How are they achieving it? They are achieving it by killing people. Mass incineration of community. Everybody is being murdered by these people. We are well aware that Islam is a religion of peace. If we go back in time in about 1960s, Malcolm X, the famous freedom fighter of America, who wanted to bring liberation for the blacks in America, said, Islam is a religion of peace. Only till about recent 2001, when the Al-Qaeda's hijacked and crashed the aeroplane into the twin tower, the entire community has been put in a radicalized position. And now the terrorists around the world are carrying out that perspective and bringing terror to the countries around the world. The problem here is that actions of the ISIS would reflect on the poor Muslim community in each and every country. For example, recently, one of my friends was just entering into the car with a box, and another friend of mine, he was just joking about it, and he said, "Are you going to bomb us with that? Or are you carrying a bomb in that box?" I mean, we all laughed about it. I mean, at that point of time, it was just a joke. But in reality, we have to understand, when you look at it from a bigger perspective, it is not a matter to be laughed at. It is a serious concern. If it is a public space and a Muslim is carrying a bag, and then any other stranger would always step himself away from that place, because there is already a perspective that it could be a bomb. So ISIS is not doing a good job. They are only radicalizing their community. We have to understand the Muslim community in Sri Lanka was already in a thin ice with the majority religion which has been practiced by people in Sri Lanka. Now, because of the bomb blast, it is only going to push this minority community in greater misery. Why isn't people like ISIS thinking of that? ISIS follows Wahhabism. They want to bring about al-Baghdadi's perspective. He wants to become a caliphate. By bringing pain, this is a serious concern. The repercussions of all these individuals are faced by simple people, simple citizens, simple Muslims around the world. Now, because of this bomb blast in Sri Lanka, the president of Sri Lanka has brought about a rule which says the women in the country should not wear burqa anymore. So Sri Lanka has joined a club of countries who have banned a burqa. Burqa symbolizes humility or bringing themselves into humility. in this world. My perspective or views has nothing to do with this, but I'm just putting forth what it all means to the religion. It is a big deal. But slowly, there are also countries, except for countries which follow a Sharia law, all the other countries would take this into consideration, and having an objective to protect their sovereign nation, their citizens, they would bring about laws preventing women from wearing burqa, which carries the religious sentiments to Muslim, as I mentioned earlier, which is very important for Muslim as a religion, as a community, as taking into consideration their history of evolution of how burqa came into existence. I'm not going into the negative aspect of it, but putting forth the major objective of it. Also, it is a duty, as an individual, as an youngster, I would say, this is the age where you want to bring about a change into this world. So, the ISIS is targeting young individuals. We also know what happened in the recent event in Britain, where young Muslim women who actually used to train ISIS youngsters wanted to go back to, she was pregnant and she wanted to go back, she wanted to get back her British citizenship, but the country did not give it. Yes, that's another issue, but it put forth a perspective, or put forth a notion that the youngsters are being targeted. Youngsters around the world are being targeted, as I mentioned earlier. So even if you look at the Sri Lankan issue, we could see that these are youngsters who are being considered for being suicide bombers. Youngsters are vulnerable. So it is the duty of the country to protect or safeguard these youngsters, because it is extremely easy to sway their mind. And the ISIS, they know to press the right chords. They know to play them. So rather than pushing down religion, pushing away Muslim as a minority, it is their duty to protect them. Drop your arms. Protect the individual. Protect the youngsters of the country, because they are the backbone of the nation, to bring about progress. It is your duty. It is the duty of the government to do it. So I pray the government take in the responsibility and protect the country from further teachings of ISIS. Thank you.